up, guys? Welcome. Today we are walking around our current giveaway truck. This is our 1997 Ford F250 that we converted to a Flareside pickup. And let me tell you, this is not your grandpa's OBS Ford. This thing is super custom and super sick, and is an amazing, amazing daily driver that one of you is going to win by shopping on our website, hodsonmotors.com. You might have seen this truck on our channel here on YouTube already. We did a walk around about 6 months ago about this truck, so you can check that video out as well. And some of this information might be redundant if you've already watched that video, but we want to walk it around, show you guys all the goodies, all the ins and outs, talk about it. We'll go for a drive, show you guys how well it drives and how great of a daily it really is. Normally we'd be doing these videos outside because normally in Las Vegas we have wonderful weather, but it just so happens that the day that we can film, it is pouring rain outside, so we're just gonna walk the truck around here inside the garage, and then we'll go for a drive tomorrow once the rain is cleared up and take some nice pictures and videos, and we'll flap that in outside and out in nature. So let's hop right into it with this bad boy. So like we said, 1997 Ford F250 short bed 4-wheel drive pickup. F250 short beds, they were all twin traction beam. This is gonna be one of the first things that people are gonna bring up is, oh, it should have been a solid axle. And you know what, I won't lie to you guys, a solid axle truck, so an F350, always were long beds. So a solid axle pickup truck, honestly, is better than the twin traction beam. But the twin traction beam setup in these is good. It rides really good, it steers pretty good. It's pretty decent for a daily driver pickup. If you're gonna do a lot of rock crawling, then yeah, solid axle might be better. But we'll just knock that out right out before anyone can complain about it not being a solid axle. I just figured we'd get that out of the way. Regardless, the truck is freaking awesome. It is a blast to drive. So we're just gonna start rattling it all off. First things first, Oxford white paint job, brand new paint job, front to rear. It has been color sanded and polished, and it has been ceramic coated, and the paint job is great. Every time you wash it, water just beads off this thing. You could drive it in the rain, you probably still end up perfectly clean. So it's super sweet. We did all of the trim in black, so we've got a gloss black grille, gloss black headlights, all brand new headlights and grille. I would consider this truck pretty much fully restored. Tons of new parts that we replaced on this truck because it's super nice. So black grille, black trim. We did some smoked factory style headlights. We used to have and if you saw the previous video, we used to have some projector style lights. They sucked. Honestly, they sucked. The factory lights are the best things you could have in this. The aftermarket style, you couldn't adjust them high enough. They were always pointing straight at the ground. They suck. So up front here, big old custom built front bumper. These were off the shelf bumpers. However, I don't want to say who built them because they were built terribly. We had to do a ton of modifications to them and then go back and repowder coat them again. And it was kind of a waste. So I don't like to give them any shout outs because they were no help getting it fixed. So that's all right. But again, they still look pretty freaking cool after we did everything we had to do to them. They look great. Big push bar up front and big beefy steel bumper with enough space for 2 lights up front here. So we've got big 5-inch amber fogs and some 3-inch LED white spotlights up here on the bumper. So one of the first things that you might notice about the truck and why it looks so cool and so custom are these fatty 37-inch Milestar Patagonia XTs wrapped around 20-inch Black Rhino Arsenal wheels. This is a great wheel and tire combo. Looks great. These tires are so quiet. I love them. I run them on everything. If you've watched your channel, you know I've ran them for a really long time. They're great. As far as suspension goes, this is a 4-inch lift kit. Rides great. Is not nearly as jarring as one would think for a 4-inch kit, but it rides great. It's really soft and does great for a daily driver. So that's really cool too. So 4-inch lift, 37-inch tires. Some other new components we added to this truck were like new glass, so front windshield's brand new. All new steering components like tie rod ends and bushings and all that kind of stuff. It's all great. Brand new mirrors down the side, new door handles, just as much as we could do. As we come down the side, something fun to show you. Another great reason why this is a great daily driver and probably I would say this is our most daily drivable truck that we've ever done and we've ever given away, is because of these really nice amp steps. So they deploy automatically and they go back up automatically. They're great, make a big old truck on 37s really easy to get in and out of. And although the truck is on 37s, because it just has a 4-inch lift, it's not that tall. People in previous videos have wanted to see like the proportions. The truck's not that tall. It'll fit in a standard size garage. It's not that much taller than me. You can run it through drive-throughs. Again, totally daily drivable, but it's cool to drive a truck on 37s and it not be massive. Just for reference, our last giveaway truck, our 86 Suburban, that was 10 inches of lift to fit 37s. So this thing is pretty great. Looks great on 37s, but is not overly massive. Again, it's a crew cab, so 4 doors, plenty of space. Pack your whole family, all your kids, all your friends, go for a drive. What really makes the truck unique is this right here. This is a Flareside bed. Ford made Flareside trucks in single cab and extra cab and super cabs only. So they never made a crew cab Flareside. However, the mounting locations are all exactly the same. So if you find a nice quality Flareside bed, you can swap it onto your crew cab just like that. Unbolt your old bed, put your new bed on, and it's done. So that was really great and super easy. 6-foot beds, short bed, Flareside. But again, they didn't make one, but we wanted to make it look factory, so it was repainted with the whole truck and looks freaking rad. And I love a lifted Flareside truck or step side if you're talking about Chevys. I think lifted step sides and Flaresides look awesome. They look muscular. It gives the back end a lot of dimension and a lot of curves that you don't get in a regular fleet side or style side bed. Here we see A nice black exhaust tip, so that we're running the full Banks power kit for a 460 powered Ford. So this is the 7.5 liter V8. This is a gasoline truck, but we're running the Banks power kit. This sounds great, really does sound super good, but is totally quiet when you're at cruising speed. There's no drone, it sounds phenomenal. So again, for a daily driver, this is great. If you wanna make this into a hot rod and take out the muffler, you absolutely could, but this is great. Really nice exhaust all the way from the headers back. We're running the Banks power pack. Their headers, Banks' headers are insanely high quality. They're so thick that you don't even have to run a flange gasket for the headers. So you just bolt the header straight to the block. They're super nice, super high quality. So we're running the whole Banks power pack for this truck, and it sounds great and is a really high quality product. Back here on the back end, we've got our custom made rear bumper with some flush mount pod lights, backup lights. We've got our Ford letters on the tailgate here. I'm impartial to these letters. Sometimes I like them, sometimes I dislike them. Good thing they're just vinyl. And if you don't like them, you can pull them off. We have our Flareside emblems. So normally these Flareside emblems would go on the front end of the truck in place of like the F250 logo, but we thought this looked great as a tailgate logo. So we've got our Flareside emblem there. As well, back here, we've got some LED tail lights. So these are really cool bar style tail lights. People ask me where I got these all the time. I got them from eBay, and I actually don't even know if they still sell them because people ask me all the time. In the bed, she's a little dirty in the bed right now, but we just got really nice fresh bed liner. And then if you watch our previous video, we used to have a big 100-gallon fuel tank back there, but we wanted to give this away as like a usable truck, and you want more than 3 feet of bed if you have a usable truck. So again, just your nice 6-foot bed, works out perfect. Because it's a Flareside, you don't have the full width of the bed, but you don't have to fight your fender wells when you're trying to push anything into your bed, which is kind of nice. And then because of the Flareside, you have steps on the outside, so it's really easy to hop in and out of the bed, so it's really cool. Another reason why we bought this bed and why it's a great Flareside bed is most of these Flareside beds you'll find are single tanks. This is a dual tank truck, and it does have both fuel doors, and it works. So the fuel doors work, and you still have your 2 fuel tanks under the truck, and you can switch it from the dash, and that all is totally functional, just like anything else out there. It's really great. As far as anything else we did underneath the truck, besides the lift kit and everything else, we undercoated this truck, and we've got a new carrier bearing on the drive shaft, all new shocks, and we've got all new brakes front and rear, new air conditioning components under the hood, so everything air conditioning is brand new. The AC blows ice cold. Again, we did a ton of work to this thing over the years because we drive it a lot. And when you drive a truck a lot, you tend to fix a lot of things. So this thing is ready to go. Whoever's gonna win this is gonna be able to fly in, pick it up, drive it home, and it's gonna be great. But let's check out the interior because the interior is super clean. In the back seat, looks like it's basically never been sat in. The door panels are darn near perfect. No rips, no cracks, no tears. Seats are perfect. Not as much as a couple specks on the headliner. Original headliner, it's in great shape. Rear bench seat is just absolutely perfect. But again, back seat is just basically never ever been sat in. Doors shut super good and super easy. We'll top up front, show you what's up front. On the inside here, again, super clean OBS interior. This did have a cracked dash pad when we bought it, but the truck only has 105,000 miles, so it's insanely low mileage. Dash is perfect. Besides, we had it reupholstered, so wrapped in leather, and then I wrapped the steering wheel in leather as well, just to give it a thicker feel. We've got our Sony 9-inch screen up here with Apple CarPlay, so that's super nice. It's a single DIN screen, but you get a large double DIN. And so with Apple CarPlay, it's great. You plug your phone in and it's like driving a modern car. We've also got down here what they call a media center for these OBS trucks. We've got our USB plug down there, and then we also have our switch panel, so you can run your lights, and then you can put other accessories, and it's super easy to wire in. So if you want to add a winch, or you want to add more lighting, or a spare fuel tank like we used to have in the past, you can just hit your switches and wire them super easy. It's got its own relay box, and so you don't have to go chasing down relays and putting them in. You just literally wire in your power wire, and then boom, you've got power, and it just runs right to the switch, and you've got 4 more auxiliary ports that you can put in right there, and it works out great. But that's it for what's in the inside. Let's pop the hood now, show you what's under the hood. Factory literature still in the door, in really freaking good shape too. New hood hinges, new hood latch. It's a little dusty under there, but again, very clean truck. You don't have a ton of wiring running all over the place. But there's your 460. They're not at all like the prettiest things to look at, but neither are 7.3s. And let's talk about the 460 versus the 7.3. I think the worst part about the 460 is not that it's not a diesel. It's that it's pretty freaking thirsty. They do love to drink gas, especially lifted on 37s. This is not the most fuel efficient vehicle we've ever given away. However, you know, the cost of gas is a lot cheaper than the cost of diesel right now. And so even though this gets, you know, half the mileage that a 7.3 would get, your cost of driving them is gonna be pretty dang similar because diesel's so dang expensive right now. Again, I don't really care about that kind of stuff. It's all about miles per gallon to me, not about miles per gallon. This truck offers plenty of miles per gallon. It is a lot of fun to drive, and they're a whole lot cheaper to maintain than a 7.3 diesel is. Diesel parts are a whole lot more expensive, and when you have something break, you know, it costs a lot more money. But again, 460s are extremely, extremely reliable. They run very, very well. We got a ton of new parts in here as well. Again, we did basically a full restoration. So this thing's got new distributor, new wires, new spark plugs, new AC compressor, all the sensors that we can put in here, IAC and TPS, all the sensors that we can put in. We did all brand new sensors as well. The thing just runs and drives absolutely incredibly. It is not a rocket ship, but they are torquey little motors, and so it's good. It'll pull a trailer, it'll cruise around town, it cruises on the freeway super, super well. You can do 75, 80 miles an hour just absolutely comfortably. So again, it's really good. This is the E4OD, and the E4OD, the 4-speed automatic, is a lot happier behind a 460 than it is behind the diesels. Diesels have too much torque for these 4-speed autos, so the transmission is a lot happier, and you're not going to burn it up right away like you would in the diesel. As far as transmissions go, this has the Banks trans shift kit in it, which is just their electronics kit that goes in and makes throttle response better and shift points better and all that kind of stuff. So very nice, very comfortable, and again, a great daily, great daily you can drive every single day. So with that being said, oh, one last thing you might notice, the hood louvers are gone. We ditched the fiberglass hood. We had the fiberglass hood open on us while we were driving down the road, and it ruined, so we went back to the factory style hood. I like it better, honestly. I just think it just looks classier. Good for you guys. Okay, so that's it for the walk around now. Tomorrow we'll go take it out and take some nice pictures. We'll get our driving impressions when we're driving out, and then and that's that. So we'll pick this up tomorrow. All right, it is a nice, bright, sunny day. Back to good old Las Vegas winter weather. Truck is just so happy. Drives super well, but we're gonna go cruise up to the trail and take some nice high quality pictures. And while we go up, I'll tell you what it's like to drive this thing. So 460, they're not super high horsepower motors, but they run good. I think why people think that these are so slow is because they require a lot of throttle pedal travel. And so, you know, what you would feel like is a regular 25% throttle travel might only really be 10 or 15%. So, you know, you put your foot in a little bit more, and they make plenty of power. They're really fun to drive around, and I actually think it's a lot less stressful than driving around the diesel, because you're just not worried about EGTs, you're not worried about boost. Boost is really fun, and so when I used to have a 7.3 OBS that we gave away a couple years ago, and it was a lot of fun, but it was a lot more expensive to maintain, and in all reality, for regular driving, wasn't any faster than this is. And so, yeah, if you're pulling a trailer, the 7.3 might be superior to this, but I think this truck is a better just daily driver. If you want something cool, lifted, runs and drives really good, and is extremely reliable, then this is honestly probably a better purchase than an older 7.3. But steering is great. The truck tracks nice and straight. People complain about the steering when you have twin traction beam. Steering in general is just fine. However, your turning radius is pretty limited with the twin traction beam. But in all reality, it's probably the exact same as a solid front axle. Maybe slightly worse than the ball joint Data 60. So steering when you're just driving around town, driving around parking lots is good. It is low effort. Steers very easy, and this truck has no power steering whine, which is pretty unheard of when you're talking about an old Ford truck to have not have power steering whine. But acceleration is good, cruise control works great. We're gonna get on the freeway here. We'll do 70, 80 miles an hour just fine, no issues whatsoever. It's nice and quiet in here. You can hear you're not deafened, and this is one of the good things about driving an OBS Ford like this, is that, you know, it still feels like a classic. You have wing windows, you have a lot of classic things, so it still feels like you're driving a classic truck, but they're a lot quieter than an older truck. They're a lot less rattly. They're still kind of rattly, but they're not nearly as bad, and so you can really daily drive these things, and you're not like getting out like, oh my gosh, my ears are ringing from the constant noise from my whistling wing windows or something like that. So that's a really good positive aspect of driving a truck like this. Brakes in these trucks are great. Brakes are all brand new on this truck. New brake master, new brake booster, all new brakes front and rear, so it stops phenomenally. You're not gonna have an issue there whatsoever. And it's just a really good, really fun truck to drive. We're getting on the freeway now and gets up to speed just totally good. Let's talk about that fuel mileage. Fuel mileage is abysmal in these 460s. I don't know why, for an engine that's not that fast, for it to suck down gas the way that it sucks down gas is kind of crazy, especially on 37. But yeah, we're gonna keep cruising up here, get on the freeway, keep cruising up, and and we'll go hit the trail and go find some nice, cool places where we haven't shot pictures yet up there and take some nice pictures of the truck. All right, we're out on the trail now. The truck did great on the way up, and now we're just doing a little off-road, and we're gonna get to our spot. The truck does great off-road, and you know, it's smooth, does great. A little bumpy, but it's an old truck, but it's awesome, does really good off-road, and we'll go snag some pics now. All right, we're here. Great little trail up here, super nice, and truck did great. Time to wrap this one up again. If you like this truck and you want to get entered in to win, go to hotshoemotors.com, pick out something that you like. The giveaway closes February 5th at midnight, and maybe you're watching this after February 5th. Check us out anyway on our website. We will probably give away something else equally as cool as this bad boy. We have a lot of cool plans for this year, 2023 and beyond. So lots of cool stuff that we're giving away if you missed this one. But if you're trying to get in on this one, make sure you get your entries before February 5th at midnight. It's a great daily. Definitely gonna be something that if you win this truck, you can sell whatever else you got and drive this thing every single day, because it's absolutely awesome. So again, thanks for watching, and we appreciate it. We appreciate all the love and support. Hope you guys like this truck, get entered to win, and good luck, and we'll catch you on the next one.